I fell in love with barbering when I was 14, and there was a time I was born in 1982, so it was a time when NBA players start like coming to the court, like you will know, like Anthony Mason, like designs on their head, Dennis Rodman, color and prints on his hair. And my dad teach me how to draw since I was like 5-6 years old. So I was always passionate about creating and doing art and doing things. And when I saw that in the NBA, I love basketball as well. So I was like, wow, I think I can do this, and it seems pretty cool to give it a try, right? And that's when I started trying to like, okay, let's do what it takes to try to learn this. It was pretty good, the fact that I have so many friends. They knew how good I was at drawing, how good I was painting, and they were all like, don't worry Pedro, I'm your guinea pig, so I know you will catch this real quick, and then I will have my own barber, right? So my dad was a graphic designer. He was always doing work for people. By the time there was no like printers like we have these days, so everybody that will need like a sign for their business or any type of art will have to be painted, right? So here goes this little bugger trying to bug my dad when he was doing works. And I remember he would grab a paper and he would draw a cartoon like the Flintstones or Woodpecker and say, give me another paper completely white and a pen. I would say, okay, draw this in this paper, and kind of like get me going to like, wow, I can actually do this, until I was the one who started trying to look at things and drawing. But most of the things that I learned from art is from my dad, yeah. Oh my God. I always look at my dad like he's that standard there I'm trying to reach, but it seems so high every day. Like, he's awesome. I don't have nothing bad to say about my dad. I'm not saying, you know, like trying to brag or anything, but like, that guy is an angel. I always have people say, well, where this guy walks, you can actually kiss the floor, because this guy is a saint. And that's the way I see him. Like, you know what I feel they was the design part of cutting hair. Like, I do love drawing a nice fade, a nice, you know, blend, and creating stuff with haircuts. But when somebody comes to the shop and said, I want this, that's what it drives me. And it's like a challenge every day. Like, it's not like I have time to practice what I'm gonna do. So somebody comes and says, I want this in my hair, and I love that challenge. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a try, right? I think that's what it hooked me into the barbering, just the drawing part, the design parts of it. You know what, it's funny, I want to go a little back, but it was one of the most popular barbershops in my city where I'm from, in Vega Alta, Puerto Rico, and it was Renoir. He's the owner of this barbershop. It's called New Style, still running to these days. Is one of the OGs barbershop in my city, and this guy is talented. Like, this guy was doing designs like crazy, competing, like winning, and that was the barbershop that my older brother used to take us, right? So I always wanted to be the last one, so I can see, you know, whenever like Daniel or Ivan or Renoir or Albert would grab the, you know, the client and would put the cape. Oh, you gotta put the neck paper first. Okay, I had to put the neck paper. So it was like my Instagram and my YouTube channels, right? Just watching and then memorizing, going home and practicing with my clients in the garage in my house. Puerto Rico, man, like, Puerto Ricans are we care about our appearance. Like, you get clients that go to the barbershop twice a week. Like, they go on Fridays to have their haircut, you know, to have the sharpest haircut on the club on the weekend, show up on Tuesday to get a line-up so the hair is still fresh during the week, and then you will see them again on a Friday. They like to look good, right? So most barbers in Puerto Rico, you have to be good, because the people that are sitting in your chair, they know what they want. They're picky, and they're like, hey, you missed this corner, hey, this is a little higher than the other one. So even your clients can push you to be better. But at least in my opinion, it's like a 50-50. So you have to have your skill. You have to be a good barber, but at the same time, you have to be a nice person, because it's so easy to open these doors, get out of that barber shop, and maybe 2 stores beside is another shop. So the competition is so good that I think that actually helps Puerto Rican to develop and get better all the time. Like I don't know, I don't like to brag, but Puerto Rican barbers are pretty good. So what happened to my eye? Well, so I don't want to get sentimental or nothing, but it was a really strong hit in my life. I remember I was back in Puerto Rico. I was working at my friend's Nelson barbershop. He's from Pampanos in Vega Alta, and I was working with my buddy Jason, and I was the last one at the barbershop. I was cutting my last client, and somebody walked in the shop, and he told me, "Excuse me, you think you can give me a haircut?" I was like, "Sorry, I'm in my last client. We already closed. I cannot. I would love to, but I can't. I gotta go home." And the guy said, "Well, I'm having an interview for a job tomorrow, and I really need you, the only person." And I was like, "Yeah, I do agree. I'm the only one," because I was late already with my last client. And I say, "Okay, just sit down. As soon as I finish this client, I do your hair." And I was doing his beard, and I made the mistake of going too close when I was looking and when I was cutting his hair, pretty thick curly hair on his beard, and one of the hairs jumped to my eye, and I kind of scratched it a little bit, and it was itchy. My eye was red, but I took it like, okay, it's something that is gonna go away. It will go away, and I'm fine. Finish his haircut, go home, and through the weeks, I see that my eye just keep turning red, and the cornea part of my eye, it was turning white. So my mom, she's always like, "You gotta go to the doctor, you gotta check yourself, this might be something." And it looked like a pink eye, but we were like, okay, let me go to the hospital to check what actually is going on. And they end up looking at my eye, and they realized your cornea actually got penetrated by the hair. So make a hole in your cornea, and we need to like have a surgery where we can, because we need to cover it. And basically I lost the vision of my left eye, and I was cutting like that for quite a bit, but I was realizing that I was having a lot of issues with my lineups, because you lost the perception of how deep you are, how far you are from people. It was tricky. And that's when I got a little bit depressed, and I was like, wow, like, what I'm gonna do? This is what I love to do, this is what I like to do. Now I have to go figure it out, another career that I might be not have the same passion for it. Took me a long time to be able to get my cornea transplant. It's really hard you have to put your name in the list of donations, because it's cornea transplants that people donate. And I was in the States for I left with my friend to Pennsylvania. I ended up going with him and working over there and figuring out the way to cut, which I create kind of a little system for myself. I create a system where I can cut just following the symmetry of people's eyes, people's ears, and that's helped me to these days, because until right now I still cannot see through my left eye. I only can see 20%, right? So I've been figuring out the ways to do it, and keep pushing it, because this is what I like to do. Okay, the thing that made me not want to quit, I think, was the love for cutting hair. I think it was the fact that I was refusing to change what I want to do in my life. I always tell people when I meet youngsters and stuff like that, I feel like you only have one life, right? And you gotta choose what you want to do with your life. If you want to make a lot of money doing something that is not what you want, but it will give you the life that you want, go for it. Or you can just do something that you love, something that you are passionate about it, and then you will figure it out the way to make the money, because it will come. Like when you actually put an effort, you practice, you put the time, you will get good. I don't think there's that story that you can tell, oh, this guy was working hard, was practicing more than anybody, and he's shit. no, that doesn't exist. Like, if you put the time, you put the work, you're gonna be good at what you do, right? Wow, that's a good question. The definition of a good barber for me, I feel is somebody that care about the person who's sitting on the chair. I always, I don't know, I actually put a post the other day, I like to put quotes. I've been doing it lately because I don't know how long I'm gonna be in this world. So whenever I'm gone, I want my son, to be able to go there and say, okay, look at all, advices that my dad was telling everybody. I can use it to myself. But I feel like a barber should never have in their mentality, the client is the one that needs me. No, you need your client. Because they can go anywhere else, like you can be, I've seen it many times, you can be an amazing barber, but having a bad attitude or being a khaki guy, and people say, what, forget it, I'm not giving my money to this guy. I prefer an average barber than the best arrogant barber, you know what I mean? So I feel like a good barber is somebody that cares about the person who's sitting in the chair. When I started cutting hair, I think that was something that it got in myself. I felt like I was the guy in charge to keep my friends looking sharp before they go to the club, before they're going anywhere. So for me, that was kind of like my job. So now I'm in a different level where I have my own shop in a different nation, in a different place. And I still look at everybody that sit in my chair. That's my obligation. I had to make this guy look on point, like nothing, no errors in my haircut. This guy has to look on point because that's my job. Okay, details are important for me because I think it's just how I start. So when I start with drawing, and a big thing of drawing, painting, and doing art is that you can look at details. And when you actually are able to put these details in your canvas, that will make your art like enhance. It will make people will look at like, oh my God, and you actually did the little things, right? So I feel like that, I grabbed that from drawing and I put it on my haircuts, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, because then I cannot let anybody lift my chair when I know that he have a little hair, or I can blend something better, right? So it can take time from you. You gotta find the balance between doing details and still able to manage your schedule, because you have one after the other one, right?
Yeah. Balance.
Well, I feel like most clients, and you can relate to that question, I feel like most clients, they start being a client, but gets a point in through the years that this guy is actually your friend. So I can say that most people that sit in my chair, they are my friends, and I don't consider them my clients, right? Because I don't know, you start caring for everybody. At least I do. I always ask my clients, how you doing? How's your kid? Like, what you did this weekend? Like, I don't know, it's something that only friends do to each other, right? And I do it with my clients, so I consider them my friends, right? Oh man, like, that was my biggest dream when I was a kid. I always wanted to be a cartoonist. I wanted to like draw comic books and stuff like that. And I took some classes when I was young with people that work in newspaper in Puerto Rico, doing cartoons in the newspaper and stuff like that. Till these days, I'm a die-hard Marvel guy, DC, I love all that stuff. And I don't know, I did watch a lot of TV when I was young, not because I was obligated to, it's just, I loved it. I always wanted to be better at doing cartoons. I don't know, it has a big impact in my childhood, the cartoons, and I still love it. I'm a little kid still. I look at those stuff like blessings, right? Like, it's not that you're planning to get these things happening to you. It's just that you just put in the work and boom, there's a blessing. You keep working, focus, and boom, there's a blessing. And I grew up in Puerto Rico, but I was always like big into the rap, hip hop, and all that stuff. And one of my favorite like artists is a.k.a. And I remember I got one of my friends, he used to organize concerts in the city of Guelph in Ontario, and he brought a.k.a. to Guelph to do a concert. And this guy was talking to me, say, Pedro, I will get you in, I'm gonna get you there. If you do something, let me know. I will make sure he sees it, right? So I was able to grab one of the flyers and do the portrait of a.k.a., the one that we were using. And the day that I went to the show, I enjoyed the show to the fullest. Like I say, it's one of my favorites. And I remember I took a picture of my design, I printed on a poster, and I was walking with my poster the whole concert. And when they did the meet and greet after, I was the first one in line. And I remember I'm walking with my model, and I turned my model like to him so he can see. And he was walking to my model, looking at his head. And in my head, I'm like, holy moly, this is freaking a.k.a. I can't believe I'm just like this close to a.k.a. And he was saying it loud. He said, oh my God, is that me? So that was like one of the biggest highlights I feel like in my life. One of the best memories I have is just impacting a.k.a., right? When he saw that, he was like, wow. I was like, I can't believe I got a wow from a.k.a. And I took a picture with him, and I don't know, that was one of my favorite memories. I did remember one time, which is funny. I always tell people, when you go to barber competitions, don't go for a place. Don't go for a first place. Don't go for a second place. Don't go for a third. You do your best, enjoy your time, and take the memory as a, how you call this, as a learning process. Because it's always gonna make you better. And even if you get a third place, you know what you have to do next time to get the second or the first. And I remember I went to a competition, one of my first competition in Canada. And I was trying something new. I did a design Jose Bautista in my model's head. I put the jersey backward, I put the hat backward, and it kind of looked like it was Jose Bautista. That was my first time trying it. And it was really cool. When I finished, I was like sweating. It was 30 minutes to do the whole work. And everybody, cameras on. I was like, oh my goodness, people are loving it. This is sick. And by the time that I wore, I don't even place. I even got no first place, no second, no third, not even a thank you for coming. I'm just joking. But I was a little shocked because I was trying something new, right? But like I said, I take everything as a learning experience. I was trying something new, and already in my head I was like, okay, so next time I'm gonna stick with the rules and stuff like that, and not come with anything like this. And I remember, I think it was like a month or a month and a half later, I wake up in the morning, I always grab my phone, and I look like Jose Bautista sent you a message. I was like, wait, what? Jose Bautista sent me a message? This is freaking crazy. And I opened the message, and he's Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, so I guess he knew I speak Spanish, right? So he started sending me a message and he's saying like, wow, your work is amazing. I'm shocked with what you just did. This is unbelievable. I'll keep doing what you're doing. Like, and that was a highlight for me. That was my first place. That was my trophy. I was like, okay, I don't care about places or trophies. Like, this is actually really neat. I can't believe it. And it was funny because the other day I got a barber from Canada. I can't remember exactly. I know too many barbers in Canada. And he messaged me and he sent me the design that I did, Jose Bautista. I said, this is unbelievable. This is sick. And I was like, wow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know that you actually like the art. And says the craziest thing is that I was quoting Jose Bautista, and he was the one who went to the Instagram and showed me. So I guess I did impact Jose Bautista with that design. It's like, yeah, like it was another highlight. You know, it's just blessings that comes in your journey, right? Jose Berrio teach me a lot about people that are in that level, you know, people that have put the hard work, because I feel like it happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. Sometimes you look at somebody that is like a pro athlete or an artist or singer, and you see them like all the way here, but you forget that that person is still a human like you, right? And I keep saying every time people like recognize, because I have the jersey signed, I got pictures of him when I cut his hair, and I always tell them that the thing that impacted me the most when I met Jose Berrios is how humble he is. Like this guy, first time I cut his hair, he shakes my hand, how are you? We were talking like we knew each other for my whole life. He's Puerto Rican too, but like it was pretty crazy, like the connection and how down to earth he was. Next time I go cut his hair, this guy shake my hand, give me a hug, I go to his house, Pedro, you want coffee? Pedro, you want something to drink? Like his family is amazing. Like always like, you wanna eat something? Like it kinda like change that perceptions of when you look at somebody like in that level, you right away think like they're different, but they're not. They're like just somebody that put the work, is doing hard work, is following what they love in life, but they still like humans. They're still like humans. And for me, Berrios was something that shocked me a lot. It catch me by surprise. I went to my buddy's retirement ceremony in San Luis. He played for the San Luis Cardinals, right? Jadiel Molina. He was in middle school. We graduated from middle school, high school together. And one of my buddies told me like, hey, are you coming for the retirement ceremony? And I was like, Monchi, I'll be there. I'm gonna go there for sure. And it was an amazing weekend. It was awesome, just, you know, like living that last game, you know, retirement on my friend. He was always saying it since he was in middle school, like, I'm gonna make it to the MLB and I'm gonna be one of the greatest, and he did it. Like, this guy is for sure a Hall of Famer as soon as he get in the ballot, right? And when I came back, I came to work the next day, and the same thing. I look at my phone and it's Jose Berrios send you message. I was like, wait, what? He just asked me like I like your work, like when can you come cut my hair, like where you work. And I did have the privilege to cut his hair last season quite a few times, like, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I cut his kids. Like I said, he has a beautiful family. Yeah. I love my shop. The other day we have our anniversary and I post video of the before and after, and I completely forgot how we start. And I looked and was like, wow, that's how the shop used to look when we opened. We're just taking it like every day, little by little. Whenever we got that money, we put it to the shop just to give to every single one of our clients or family, right, the best we can. But when I grew up, I went, like you said, from different shops, right? I work in Puerto Rico, I work in Florida, I work in Delaware, I work in Ottawa, I work in Guelph, and I will learn so much that I always was that guy that I was like, you know what? No, I don't think I want to shop. I don't want to deal with employees. Like, I don't want to have to deal with firing somebody. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm really hard to. I think a lot about people, right? My mom, she always teach me that you need to learn how to put yourself in other people's shoes before you open your mouth, right? So that's the way that I live my life, right? And I was like, if I had to fire somebody, this person might be kids, he had to feed somebody. So all those questions would come at me and it's like, it would be really hard for me to do something like that if I'm the boss. But when COVID hit, I was already saving money for a house. And I was like, why if this is my moment to actually come and open my own place and start building something, right? I feel it's something that when I hit my 40s, I'm turning 42 this year. When I hit my 40s, my brain can switch, and it's not how much I can learn, it's how much I can give. It's more how much I can teach to people, because you kind of realize that, you know, you have your days count. You don't know how long you're gonna be here, right? So I prefer to give what I have so somebody can keep developing. That's the only thing you can do, right? And when COVID hit, I said, you know what? I think I can put this money and give it a try to open a shop. And my wife, they always right. She said, well, you don't try Fergus. And I was like, Fergus? Like, I have almost 300 clients just in golf. Why would I go to Fergus? And I didn't realize, you know, it's only 25 minutes from Fergus to golf, right? And all my clientele from golf still coming to my shop right now. And I don't know, I took a chance. COVID time, the worst time, we went to many lockdowns. But the people from Fergus and my clientele from golf, they were always there. They was always there. As soon as we were open, fully booked. I feel as soon as we close down, hey Pedro, you think you can hook me up with a haircut? Like, I can pay you cash or whatever. So I'm here because of the clients, the family, you know, the community. They support me, and I've been loving it every day. I feel like, yeah, it was a little bit raw mentality. I should have opened my shop like a long time ago.
Your son.
Oh, fatherhood, man. I think every father will agree with me. It has to be the best thing in life, man. Like, I don't know. You see life, like I said, you're teaching this little human, you know, about life, about loving others, but at the same time, you can like go to the shop and go to work and get like 11, 10, 12 years old kid that sit in your chair, and you see them with the same mentality. Like, every time I have a chance for her to give a kid an advice, specifically when they play sport, I always give them like I do that to my kid, right? It's like, it does change your mentality a lot when you are in the fatherhood. You kind of like start more like giving and teaching a lot. Every I don't know, it's a switch in your life. I love teaching. Like I said, teaching is why you live in this world, right? When you live. I grew up in the church, and I remember a little story they teach in church school, where like God gives 3 people, they call it talent. 3 talents to this person, 5 talents to this person, like 10 talents to this person, and this person like grow it, this person grow it, this person bury it, and didn't do anything with it. And when they came back and they start asking, everybody multiply their talent, but this person just bury it. And I always have that in my mind. Like, I think that's what teaching is for me. Like, when I got this talent, that's why He gave me, right? This is my blessing. So if I teach people with the talent that I have, these people are gonna keep like multiplying that talent, right? But if I keep it for myself and I just show off my art, I'm just burying it. You know, it will go to the dirt with me. You know what I mean? I feel like even myself, I got caught up many times, man. We have to. I feel like everybody needs to learn how to like be true to themselves and not trying to cover your defects. Like, be who you are. But like, I will always look all the barbers. You get to a point that you start looking at all the people, and that only stuck you, like only keep you in just one place. I feel like you gotta look to all the barbers to get some knowledge, but not to like, I'm gonna be like this person, I'm gonna be like this person. No, you're gonna be you. You're gonna be yourself. You're gonna take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and you're gonna make that mix that is gonna create who you are. I learned so much from Tony. He was the first barber that gave me opportunity to work in a barber shop in Puerto Rico. And he used to live in my same neighborhood, and he used to pass after work and see my garage full kids waiting for haircuts, right? And one day he just stopped and he said, "Do you want to learn how to cut hair, or you want to work in the barber shop?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have a license. I've been cutting since I was 14, but I don't have no license." He said, "Don't worry about that. We will figure it out later." And he gave me the opportunity, and he teach me like so much about haircut. Even one of the simplest things is like using your chair. Like I will walk my chair. He said, "You going in a marathon or what's going on, man? Like you can spin that chair and stuff like that." And I learned how to do design from Jason. Like I can keep naming all the things that I learned with different barbers. And I always say, it's like people said, Batman has a lot of tricks in his belt, right? So I got my belt, and I got, what Tony teach me, what Padilla teach me, what Jason teach me, and that's all my tricks in my belt, right? So that's all the things that I'm using to be who I am. But I'm trying to stay focused in who I am. Like I don't want to be Tony, I don't want to be Padilla, I don't want to be, they're great at what they do, but they're their own self. I want to be Pedro, right? Just focus on yourself, do the best you can do. That's the best advice I can give to any new barber. Look at people in the positive way, take the positive, throw the negative, build your own Batman belt, and just keep focusing yourself.